Am I the a-hole for not shortening my workout to strangers in the gym? Yesterday, at the gym around 5:30 p.m., I started my leg day workout, which is usually the longest of the week. I was using the power rack to do squats, deadlifts, and good mornings, typically taking about 30 to 40 minutes. There are 3 power racks, and I was using one of them. I take about 3-minute rests between squat sets since I'm doing heavy weight for low reps. While I was squatting, 2 girls, who I'll call Girl A and Girl B, started waiting behind me. Neither approached me to ask how many sets I had left, but they just hung around. When I finished squatting and began re-racking my weights to prepare for deadlifts, I could tell they assumed I was done. I walked up to Girl A and asked if she was waiting for me to finish. She said yes, so I explained that I still had deadlifts and another movement to do. She responded with,
Of course you do.
And I just moved on. As I set up and began deadlifting, both girls stood nearby, rolling their eyes and acting frustrated, as though I should be shortening my workout for them. I decided to be polite and asked Girl A what she wanted to do. She said squats, so I offer her the nearby squatting area, since I wasn't using it. She declined, so I kept going with my workout. Meanwhile, another guy using a different power rack offered the same to Girl B, but she also declined. A group of 2 women then came up, and the girls complained that they had been waiting for 30 minutes and it was ridiculous. I ignored them. When I finished deadlifting, Girl A moved away to warm up. I approached Girl B and, before I could speak, she looked at me and paused her music, saying,
What? Hold on, I can't hear you.
I told her I still had 1 more movement to do and would need 5 to 10 more minutes. She seemed upset and responded sarcastically.
Okay, that's fine. I've already been here 30 minutes. What's another 10?
I shook my head and walked away. As I started my next movement, I briefly considered shortening it to avoid further conflict, but then decided not to. I didn't want to reward their rudeness by letting them dictate my workout. I've been lifting since 2016 and have always tried to be respectful and kind to others at the gym. When people ask politely, I don't mind sharing equipment, but the way these girls treated me was unpleasant. I continued my workout as planned because being kind is free, and I wasn't going to let their behavior disrupt my day. When I finally finished and wiped down the equipment, they rushed over without a word. I left without engaging further. On the way out, I wondered if I could have handled it differently, but I keep circling back to this. I didn't owe them my time, just basic respect, which I gave. So am I the a-hole for continuing my workout despite their rude behavior?
Here are the top comments, plus Opie's reply.
Not the a-hole. It was rude for them to try to pressure you off your workout. If someone is using the thing I want, I go do something else until it's free.
OP replied,
For sure, or be okay with working in. I had no problem with that. Going forward, I will just take it into consideration that maybe I'm on the power rack for too long.
At the busiest time at gym, OP is holding a rack for nearly an hour. And most of that time was rest between sets. At that time of day, allow people to work in.